When Tony went to withdraw some cash, he noticed something strange. His bank account suddenly had an extra balance of $750,000. Tony could not believe it. He tried withdrawing more money, and the ATM began dispensing cash non-stop. People around him were shocked. Tony did not want to draw attention, so he put the money into his bag and quickly left. When he arrived home, his landlord ran toward him. He said Tony had received dozens of heavy packages earlier that afternoon. To get rid of the landlord quickly, Tony paid his rent for the next few months in advance. But when Tony turned on the lights, he was stunned. The room was filled with boxes, stacked up like mountains. He opened one of them and found strange objects he did not recognize, along with large amounts of ammonium nitrate and high-tech weapons. Then he discovered an envelope containing several passports, all under his name. Tony was completely confused. Suddenly, his phone rang. Nervously, he answered. The voice on the other end said the police would arrive in 1 minute. If he wanted to avoid trouble, he had to leave immediately and head to the nearest train station to wait for further instructions. Tony quickly looked out the window, but saw nothing suspicious. The caller warned him that the room was full of incriminating evidence, and if the police caught him, he would be accused of terrorism. Tony asked who was calling, but before he could get an answer, a flashbang grenade was thrown into the room and police stormed in through the window. Tony tried to escape, but the doors were already surrounded. The police quickly arrested him and brought him to the anti-terrorism interrogation room. Tony kept insisting that he was innocent and had no idea where all those items came from. However, the police did not actually believe he was guilty. They had checked his background and suspected he was being framed. They thought it might have something to do with his brother. Tony explained that they had not spoken in a long time and that he had just buried his brother the day before. Frustrated with the lack of information, the police left Tony alone to think. Then, the interrogation room received a fax from the Department of Justice. It stated that Tony was granted one phone call. Apparently, someone influential had sent new information. But no one expected what happened next. The same mysterious voice was on the phone. So what will happen to Tony next? Is he really part of all this?